Welcome to Katawa Shoujo. This is potentially the last episode of Hanako's story. We just started Act 3. I think this might be the beginning of Act 3. It might be somewhere. I don't know. I don't think I kept going. But this looks like it's in the middle of the day, so I don't actually remember. Hold on. We can actually scale up, can't we? Yes. Okay. So this is the beginning of Act 3. Which is cool. It's weird that we're starting in the middle of the day. Hopefully I didn't mess up the one decision we had. I don't know how Act 3 or anything works. I do know that we have multiple endings, and I don't know how to get any of the endings. I didn't look up anything beforehand, so... what we're going to end up doing is, whatever ending we do get, hopefully it's a good ending, we'll then do the other ones that we didn't do. So, yeah, let's do this. I have some boba today, so we're going to be enjoying ourselves. Let's see. The tint of the room slowly changes from the shine of the afternoon to the orange of dusk. The clock lazily ticks away the seconds, counting in the background, on the verge of hearing. But no matter how long I wait, the outcome cannot be changed. The diminutive playing piece makes a small click against the board. Okay, we're playing chess. I was so scared it sounded like something bad was going on. Like a wound spring, Hanako makes her move only moments after mine. It's embarrassing. In comparison to my 5-minute move, she seems to know exactly what she wants to do. Mate. Again, what does that make this? 3-2? Stalemates don't count. Damn, you're getting better at this every day. That or she's holding back. I never have thought when I first met her, but she has a real knack for this game. Just seems to have become a popular pastime for the two of us. What's wrong with me today? I can't read. Hiding away in this tea room, playing a game or two after classes. From here, the students outside can barely be heard milling about. The everyday noises from below remind me a little of life before Yomiku, though I'm by now well aware that it's a life I'll never get back to. Fancy another game? You don't go to another game after you do a best of 5. Like, a best of 7 is like a commitment. I have to finish my homework. Oh, well, I'll see you tomorrow then. Whoa, you just feel like, alright, well, I'll see you tomorrow. Bro, walk her to her dorm. But what about this? Hanako points to the tea set surrounding the mostly empty chessboard. Don't worry about that. I've got it. Oh, okay. See you later. Hanako departs as I start cleaning up the area. The occasional whistles and cheers from the sporting clubs outside become less frequent, eventually approaching silence. Again, you could have just been like, yeah, let's clean it up together, and then you walk her back to her dorm, bro. Like, come on. A part of me still wants to be in some kind of team, since I played soccer and the other sports before my accident. I guess it's only normal to feel nostalgic about what I can't do anymore. But I have other reasons for my coming here so often. I don't feel so bad about losing that part of myself because of them. Lily's a good friend by now. But it's the small exchanges I have with Hanako that feel especially dear. The small victories I feel every day as I see more what she's like under her self-imposed shell. That's why I come here most of all. As I'm putting away cups and saucers, I hear her talking outside the door. Pausing for a moment to listen, I can make out that it's Hanako and Lily, and decide to go outside to investigate. Are you quite sure? I'm sure. The sound. God, my voice. Hanako turns to see me with a look of mild surprise as she notices my approach. Lily must have caught her just as she was about to leave. Oh my, is House here as well? Afternoon, Lily. What's up? I was hoping now that I'd finished my class representative duties for the day that I might have the two of you to accompany me for tea in Shanghai. It would be nice to enjoy ourselves outside of school for a change. I'd be up for it. I think Hanako had work to do, though. It's not all that much. Wonderful. It seems that we're decided then. Interesting. Oh god, my game lagged. I cast my eyes across the cafe as the three of us step in. As usual, there are only a handful of people around at most, and the noise level is quiet. Background hum. Sorry, I don't know if you could tell, but my fan isn't on, and it's actually getting really hot. So I'm going to turn it on, and hopefully you can't hear the difference. I think you can, but it's really hot, so I need it. I'm sorry if you can hear that. Normally I know there's like a little sound in the background of my video, I think that's just because I have the mic turned up so much, because I don't want to have it like too close. But I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Hopefully it's fine. As the three of us step in. Oh god, they're so close. The hold Lily has on Hanako's arm remains just as if it had been for the entire slow walk down the hill to the local town, though it's hard to say for which reason, for Lily's guidance or Hanako's reassurance. For a moment, Lily removes her arm from Hanako to retract her cane as Yuko quickly skitters over to where we stand, but soon replaces it right back where she had been. Welcome to Shanghai. May I take your order? Didn't drop her glasses this time. She gives a deep bow and a well-delivered and professional introduction, putting her in a good mood. It's a nice change from the norm for Yuko. Sorry. Just tea, please. Hanako, his out. I'll have a slice of pie and coffee. Just tea, please. Coming right up. Please take any seat you wish, and I'll be back shortly. Didn't she, like, try to escort us to our own seat when it was empty? That's weird. Yuko gives a smile and a nod before shuffling to the counter, and we make our way to some empty seats by the window in quick measure. Okay, wait. Yeah. We slip into our seats, the girls on one side and Lily's cane popped up beside them, and I on the other. I realize that Hanako's not doing something that she so often does. Rather than keeping her eyes pinned to the ground when she's hiding behind her blind escort, busily trying to convince herself that the world around them doesn't exist, she's merely keeping her eyes low and helping Lily around. You okay, Lily? You look tired. She lowers her head a little, looking somewhat embarrassed that she let it show. Class representative work can be quite tiring, considering that it often means dealing with the student council. Very tiring indeed. How do the upper representatives go? Better than I, but not by much. Shizune is a hard task master, no matter whom she deals with. Doesn't sound like you particularly relish the job. Why do you do it in the first place, if it's that bad? Being a class representative is enjoyable, and I can deal with the responsibility well enough. It's just the people involved are sometimes... She trails off, cutting her words at a rather opportune spot. It's hard to imagine Lily cursing, but I imagine that if anyone would make her do so, it would be Shizune. Hanako looks to be withering a bit in the light of such conflict, but before I can steer the topic away a little, she stands up. Hanako? I'll be back in a bit. With that, she leaves for the restrooms. I suppose that's one way to deal with the situation, if that was indeed her motivation. Lily, however, looks a little wounded. Oh. Don't worry about it. I don't think it was you. But I think she's getting stronger recently. You've seen it yourself, right? They went a bit awry. Fortunately, Lily doesn't look offended. And by now, I shouldn't be quite so scared of stepping on that landmine around her. Possibly. Sometimes I find it hard to tell, though. Silence reigns for a moment before 2 teacups, a pie, and a mug of steaming hot coffee appear in front of us. I notice that Yuko takes a special care to place the teacup against the tip of Lily's fingers, letting her know where it is. Here you go. Thanks, Yuko. Thank you. With a quick and silent bow, the bespectacled waitress Lee takes her leave. That's right. I was meaning to ask you something, and now would be the right time to do so. I'm all ears. Hanako's birthday is coming up, and I was hoping that you might accompany me for present shopping in the city this weekend. Hanako's birthday's soon. I suppose that would be a nice change to hear her cheer up a bit. Like Yuko, she always seems to be teetering on the edge of either panic or depression. Jesus, man. I've never seen her enjoy herself so much outside of our chess games. All that aside, learning the layout of the city better with a friend keeping me company sounds like a good way to spend a weekend. Sure, I'd be happy to. Have you got any plans for what to do for her birthday? A party or anything? Hanako being Hanako, perhaps a low-key affair would be... Lily suddenly cuts herself short, leaving me to wonder why she brings her teacup to her lips and begins to sip. After a few seconds, I notice Hanako walking up to us over her shoulder. Lily's hearing must be very good indeed. It was the sound of the restroom door opening that tipped her off. Hanako takes her seat once again, wastes no time drinking her tea. Soon, the 3 of us are quietly eating and drinking as the sun sets. It's a nice way to spend the remainder of the day's light. and it makes me appreciate the quiet, serene surroundings of Yamaku. I think I'm really beginning to like the life here, as isolated as it may be. I finish off the last of my coffee and the rest of the mug on the table while the girls talk between themselves. My speech is so slurred right now, I don't know what's going on. The coffee here is a bit bitter for my tastes, but still quite good. Better than what I can make for myself in any case. The girls' discussion is mainly focused on their respective reading preferences, which does give me a little curiosity about a related topic. Hey Hanako, I was just wondering, aside from chess and reading, do you have any other hobbies or things you like doing? She's completely stopped in her tracks, looking quite surprised that anyone would be interested in asking such a question about her. It takes her a little time to formulate a response. I guess I like singing a little. It's okay with computers as well, but I don't use them all that much. Singing's not exactly something I expected to hear. It's hard to imagine her singing voice, given how soft-spoken she is. Lily, on the other hand, simply nods. She must already know all this, and she's been friends with Hanako for 1 year or so by now. What about me? She hesitates before quickly flicking her head up and down. It's only logical that she'd want me to talk about my hobbies after she's told me about hers. Well, there's chess, obviously, but also... You just said besides chess, bro. There was soccer as well, though I can't really do that anymore. Reading, which I picked up in the hospital. You also said besides reading. This is surprisingly hard. Lily and Hanako look a little off-put by the direction this is taking. The more I think about it, the more I am, too. It sounds as if you picked quite a few things up since your accident. Lily's condor is coated by probably the most positive spin one could put on what I said. Hanako, however, is silent. If a situation becomes difficult, her reaction always seems to be withdrawing into silence in order to prevent things getting worse, that or physically retreating. Soft ringing gives us a pause as Lily reaches into her pocket. It became obvious that the sound is coming from her phone. Why does she have like an old-timey phone? Sorry, I'm running low on the straw. It's okay. Lily gives a quick nod before shuffling out of her seat and taking a little distance away. Taking the call a little distance away to avoid disturbing the both of us. Must be nice to be popular. Hanako smiles but doesn't take up the hook for further discussion. Am I falling asleep? I end up just sitting back and closing my eyes, relaxing the best I can. It's nice and peaceful here. I wonder what it'd be like to have grown up somewhere like this rather than in the city. You come from the city? Looks like I found something she wants to talk about. Yeah, you could say I was a city kid through and through. It sounds like a lot changed. It did. I'm still not quite sure what to make of all of it, though. It's a big culture shock, in more ways than one. You must have gone through something like this when you first arrived at Yamaku, right? I'd imagine most new students would. Not really. Hanako gazes a little to the side, looking unwilling to go on. I tilt my head inquisitively, but a couple of seconds pass with no further answer. Oh my god. That's a weird angle. I mean, we just never see him from the back. That's crazy. But can't we deal that on Monday? The fallout has hardly settled from the last. I understand. I'll try to talk her down. You know what she's like when she gets locked onto an idea. Yes, thank you. I'll talk to you later, then. Goodbye. Lily's conversation ends with the snap of her phone closing. She returns to our table, but doesn't take her seat. Need to go? Unfortunately, class representative work calls once again. I can come with you. It's all right, Hanako. I'll just be going straight to the student council. There's no need to spoil a fine evening on my account. Besides, if you were to accompany me on my way back to school, who would keep our poor Hisao company? Okay. I can join you for tea again later tonight, if you'd like. I may well need it. We agree on that plan, and Lily says her farewells to the both of us, taking her cane after Hanako passes it to her. Despite my offer to pay for Lily's share, she insists on giving us her portion of the bill, and gives her regards to Yuko as she takes her leave. And we're alone. It may be all well and good to leave Hanako and me alone to have some time together, But it all typically means is the two of us sitting near each other in silence for a while, and that's okay, Hisao. Maybe that's her comfort zone. I wonder what I must look like to Hanako. I never thought of myself as a scary person, but to have someone my own age acting this way around me makes me intensely self-aware, as if it's my fault she looks so troubled. She might get more used to people as if she were to stop being so cloistered in Yamaku. But then again, when even people much older than her react so strongly after a single glance at her face, she may as well feel the same way I do now. It's a real catch-22. She stays in Yamaku, she won't get used to socializing, but if she leaves, any efforts she might make will get thrown back at her by the people who can't deal with her scarring. Want to order something else to keep us going? We haven't had much of a dinner after all. Hanako brightens and nods vigorously, glad that I brought up the topic for her. I catch Yuko's gaze and she dutifully comes over to take our orders. Would you like something else? I'll just have a sandwich special and a hot chocolate. A bit late for coffee by now. Hanako? I'll have the same. With a nod and a bow, Yuko turns on the ball of her foot and returns behind the counter, where she busies herself fishing out bread and condiments and working on a machine to make our drinks. Is she the only one in here? That's crazy. Not a word is said between us until Yuko comes back. She smiles and gives our food and drinks before moving on to a customer who calls for her attention. I give up on the prospect of having a conversation with my companion and decide to enjoy the meal, small as it may be. It tastes nice, as does most of the food here. After having a few mouthfuls, I notice something's missing, namely the sound of Hanako eating. Looking back to her, I see Hanako fidgeting a little behind her untouched sandwich. Not hungry? She shakes her head from side to side. Even as she does, the patch of hair keeps over the right side of her face as it does a good job hiding it almost entirely. It's not that... Oh, I was all ready to have your share too. You look troubled. Is something wrong? I'm startled by her thinking that I'm the one who looks troubled, but on second thought, she's probably right. My face may have given away my emotions without me noticing. She's hardly a dim person. Quite the opposite. We're friends, right? Friends? From the tone of her voice and shrinking posture, it looks as though I've hit yet another landmine. Ugh. That's another reason why interacting with her is difficult. The self-imposed psychological barrier she puts up between herself and others, including me and, most likely, even Lily. It's a shame. Bro, are you okay? Why are you, like, so on her right now? He's pissed. I think that we are. I'm a little taken off guard by Hanako's straightforward answer. All the more so since I was about to give up on getting any reply at all. I see. Am I wrong? Sorry. Yeah, bro, chill. No, it's just hearing confirmation of that from you is reassuring. To pick up on what you said earlier, since coming to Yamaku, I've been a bit uneasy about how I should relate with others. I find myself chuckling a little. It's surprising how much a relief that was. I can feel my face smiling as I pick up the hot chocolate to put to my lips. Ouch, that's hot. Don't. I feel like when you're talking to Lily, you can't be like, oh, I see. And when you're talking to Hanako, you can't be like, oh, this burns. Ouch. That's why I haven't eaten yet. I was waiting for my drink to cool down first. I guess I'll wait then. Both of us share a little chuckle. The situation isn't really that funny, but for some reason, it feels like laughing is the most natural thing to do right now. Yes, we're both a bit wound up about each other. I was so busy thinking Hanako was the one with something wrong. It took her to remind me that I was uneasy as well. But be that as it may, it still feels a little nice. A little nice to have someone thinking about me like that, in her own way. That's cute. Following a long, quiet trudge up the hill into the school grounds, the two of us find ourselves between two dormitories. Regular night patrols pass between the male and female dormitory buildings, both for security and to quickly raise the alarm for any medical issues that arise. The guard currently on duty notices us and gives a quick nod as he continues on his way. A loud yawn escapes from Hanako's mouth before she has a chance to cover it. I have little doubt that she's fairly tired by now. I'd better be off to my room, then. See you tomorrow, Hanako. Good night. We separate and begin to walk our separate ways before I stop and look back. Hanako stands there, waving to me as she smiles. I smile and wave back to her, and after a few seconds she turns and walks up the stairs to her dormitory building, disappearing through the door. These little moments we share between us feel like a small treasure. One thing's for sure, I want to protect that small, delicate smile she so fleetingly wears around so few people. I wonder about these feelings I have when Hanako's around, and when I'm able to do things for her. Whether they may be the seed for something beyond what we share now. Interesting. Damn, they are just starting us in the middle of things now. The summertime sun is something to be savored, but when combined with the clean country air, it's all the better. Track and field club members are horsing around on the field. Some are playing with a soccer ball. Others are talking. A few laugh as the two of them mock a fight with each other. We're gonna see Emmy here. None of them pay me as any heed, as I sit alone on the grass underneath the shade of a particularly large tree. It's a nice and peaceful moment after a dreary day of schoolwork. I played soccer pretty often before my heart attack, so I thought that why are the steps getting so loud? As I thought it would be really nostalgic to watch them. What I'm feeling now, though, is quite distinct from that emotion. Who is she? She's so cute. New girl? Question mark? Are we supposed to? This is weird. I hear footsteps approaching from behind me. I turn to my side to see one of my classmates taking a seat beside me. I've taken off guard as the two of us haven't talked much before, and I don't think anyone would notice me here. What's up? Hi. Mira, wasn't it? Just call me Miki. Surnames are too stuffy. Likewise, then. We both look back out to the field where the guys were playing. Looks like they're ready to have a second game, where people are spreading out to their positions and the ball being carried to the center of the field. Sure enough, the whistle's blown to watch me... What? The whistle's blown to begin the match, and they get right back into it. Not gonna play? Nah, just gonna rest for a bit. What about you? You looked like you wanted to play when you were watching us before. So someone did notice me after all. It's kind of a long story. Her face says that I've piqued her interest. I'm in Yamaku because I've got a heart condition. I can't really play soccer anymore. Wanted to be a soccer player, did you? No, I only really did it for fun. My friends played it, so I played it as well. Any of those guys playing around could have been me before an accident. But my accident. I don't feel like I have any real wish to go back to that either. It's a little hard to explain. I'm still decently physically built from the days when I played, even if my strengths largely left me by now. I got on well with the other club members. God, my whole reading is messed up, dude. I can't read. When I think about it, I should feel pretty bad watching people play when I can't anymore. Yet I don't. Maybe it's a good thing. It's a sign that I've gotten over it and that I'm ready to become a new person. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling. It's cool. I'm actually glad to hear that. Sounds like you really have your stuff together. Some people like that don't come... Some people like that... What? Some people that come to Yamaku are pretty messed up at first. So you're a member of the track and field club, then? Yep. Been in it since I first arrived. Don't suppose you're friends with Emmy? Short, fast runner, no legs? You're so weird, dude. I don't think there are all that many female track and field members. Emmy, everybody knows about her, don't they? But nah, I tend to get better on with the guys, so me and Emmy don't really talk much. What about you? Yeah, well, I'm not really in any clubs. Real clubs, anyway. You've been hanging out with Hanako and that blonde Amazon, though, am I right? Blonde Amazon. I suppose Lily has the height to fit that description. Nothing else, I nod in response, without making too fine a point of things. And don't worry about it. As long as you got some friends, you don't need to join a club. Loud whistling came from the field. Attracts our attention. One of the players is on the ground, clutching his leg. The other player stopped to jog up to him, leaving Miki grimacing. Ouch, that looks painful. That guy really has bad luck. As she continues to look out onto the field, I can't help being reminded of her own injuries. Her left arm ending in a stump rather than a hand. It's been bandaged for the entire time I've been in Yamaku. Her surgery doesn't seem all that new. Why would it be unbandaged? I mean, like, I get it, because, like, some people live their life like that, but, like, man, it's just, seems weird that you'd want it. I guess to wash it and stuff, but, I mean, I don't know, it looks cooler bandaged anyway. She turns to talk to me and catches me looking. Both of us sit in an awkward silence as she takes her bandaged arm and holds it in her lap, the other remaining hand. Sorry, I guess I'm still a bit... It's fine, really. Her tone is light, but neither of us says anything afterwards. Every disabled student has their way of dealing with their problems, some finding their conditions troublesome, if only natural. I'm included among them, after all. The injured guy from the soccer team manages to get onto his feet with some help, and ends up hobbling off the field with one arm and shoulder for another support. What? One arm over the shoulder of another for support. Probably just pulled a muscle, if he can still manage to walk. The whistle blows again. The game continues once more with one less man on the field. Hanging out with Hanako and that blonde girl. Keeps some pretty strange company. What do you mean? Everybody here would be a strange company. How so? It's just that Hanako's kind of... I don't know. Shy? No, it's not really that. It's just she's got some issues, I think. Can't really put it in a nice way. Not that I don't think she's a nice person, though. She's perfectly nice. Just hard to deal with. Sounds like Miki, or at least some other people in class, have tried to get closer to Hanako in the past, and that it didn't go well. I think her judgment's rather harsh, given that everyone, not just those in Yamaku, have their own issues. Then again, I haven't known Hanako for that long, so it wouldn't surprise me if there was some stuff I didn't know about. I'll just take it as it comes. She's a nice person, and I think that should be all that matters. Miki's eyes narrow a little. Her smile spreads. You really like her, don't you? Miki certainly doesn't mince words. Of course I do. To be completely honest, yeah, I do. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell anyone. Hey, whoa, you can trust me. No problems there. To be honest, I think she's kind of cute. If you want to go for it, don't let me stop you. Thanks. She may say that, but she was just talking about Hanako having issues. Still, I want to hold myself to the words I said. Hanako's problems don't matter. I'll deal with anything that comes up, because I want to help her. If there's even the smallest possibility that I can pull Hanako out of her depression and seclusion, then I should work towards that, no matter what. If she needs a prince, I will be that prince. That's right, Tisao. Be that prince, king. As I think about the possibility of a relationship, I can see Miki grinning at me while watching my face. I'm no doubt blushing, and looking away from her only makes me laugh. Her laugh? Her laugh. Miki gives off a different vibe than the other girls. Talking to her feels more like talking to a guy than a woman. Okay. Her saying she prefers male company doesn't help to dispel that notion either. Glancing at my watch, she shows that my lunch break is ending in only a few minutes. I don't know why I said she. Time to start heading back to class. Lunch is about to head. Want to head back? Yeah, we better. Pick myself up off the grass and dust myself off, offering a hand to Miki to help her up. She takes it and easily pulls herself up, showing the muscles moving in her toned bare arms in the process. Come to think of it, why aren't you wearing the normal girl's blouse? Yeah, it's too hot and constricting. The boys' uniform's better anyway. She throws her arms around a bit to emphasize her point, which has the side effect of showing off a particular part of her body that she would be especially constricted off by the blouse. Rin wears the men's outfit too. You'd think that the men's outfit would be worse for Rin just because the arms. I mean, I guess maybe she doesn't want to show her stubs. Does the girl's outfit still have long sleeves? I can't say I've noticed. I guess it must, because I don't remember seeing Hanako's arms or Emi's arms. I've never looked at Shizune's. I think they all actually have long sleeves. Never mind. But she has her sleeves cut off. Right? Because Rin has sleeves and they're just like knotted up. That's weird. Sounds like you're settling in well. That's a relief. It's pretty surprising to get a transfer student at this point in the year, considering the exams are coming up. Don't remind me. Don't worry about them. Just cram it and you'll be fine. That doesn't sound like good advice. She claps my shoulder a couple of times as she grins. I don't think she takes school very seriously. You seem like a smart guy, and Muto's taken to you well already. Like a hand in a glove. That's a weird... Now whether to work out that's a good thing or a bad thing. I still don't know what to make of this school. I've been here a few weeks already, but I still feel dazed at times. You'll get used to it. Just give it some time. It's only high school, just like any other. She makes it sound so simple, but I've never thought about it that way. To me, Yamaku symbolized a marked shift in my life. I was no longer normal. I was different. To be educated, but different. She makes it sound so simple, but I've never thought about it that way. To me, Yamaku symbolized a mark of shift in my life. I was no longer normal. I was different, and was to be educated with other different people. And yet, I'm walking back to class and talking casually with a classmate during lunch. At some point, after watching some others play a soccer game. All perfectly normal. Maybe she has a point. Maybe I should just look at Hanako in the same way. Everyone has their own issues. This is hardly something unique to Yamaku, after all. It's only high school, just like any other. As we continue to talk, I find myself smiling. Miki and I are very different people, in almost every way. But it feels good to have gotten to know another classmate a bit better. Okay. That's cute. Are we going to bed already? Damn, man. It was a quick day.